Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, today we're not starting with a finished thing, we're going to make something today. Well, I'm going to start it today, I don't know whether I'm going to get it finished today. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to make like a large, I don't know, fusion lapbooky type field notes type thing. Less field notes, more lapbooky type thing. You know I love making lapbooks. It's been over a year since I made my last one. So I was just having a look and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make one. What I thought I'd use is a file folder because it's kind of the kind of size that I want to go for. And also it has, we can make the spine bigger because it's already got the score lines in it. So it's basically a case of come and join me while I craft. So the thing is, I can see the score lines on that side, but I can't see them on this side. So let's score them in this way. So I'm just going to bend up against that, and I'll bend up back the other way. So yes, I've been thinking about it for a while. I might make it into like my correspondence journal, but it won't necessarily be my ephemera journal because I've got a lot of ephemera, obviously. I'll need a bigger journal than this, but I wanted to make something. You know, I love my field notes and that kind of journal. But like I say, I haven't made one for a while. I think I used to make one every spring, so this year I'm just gonna go with it. Now I normally make them a bit smaller, but you know, we can always book a trend, can't we? Just because that's the size I've done before doesn't mean to say that's the size I have to stick to. And it's more of a challenge for me, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It's basically you just coming along with me while I do some craft. So let me just fold that back over, and I just want to straighten this edge. Now I don't mind it being a little bit raggedy, but I don't want it to be wonky, because if I have any fold in bits, that'll impact on those fold in bits because they won't fold in properly. So if you know what I mean, if you catch my drift, if there is a drift to catch, indeed. So we've had a bit of a tidy up, so it might take me a while to find things. I say we, Brian came round yesterday, and it wasn't because it wasn't disorganised as such, it was just messy because I'm terrible at putting things back where they belong. So, you know, if you've got time to tidy, you've got time to craft. So you should be crafting and not tidying. No, I never said that. You don't. Oh, I've just dropped my thing. It fell off and it switched itself on. So I was thinking, what's that noise? That's what that noise is. So, my thing, my Tim Holtz air gun. That's heat gun even. So what I want to do is I want to now put a bit of a strengthening in there. So I'm going to need a ruler because I need a ruler, that's why. And it's 3/4 of an inch, that. Is it? Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. So if I cut this down to 3/4 of an inch, I should be able to just plonk it in there. So this is a bit of grey board. I knew that I was going to have a spine in it. The reason why I want a spine is because I think I want it to hold something a bit chunky, and the file folders, as lovely as they are, and they are quite strong, then definitely not strong enough to hold a significant, you know, weight of anything. They're designed to be used like that. So the strength is in the downward force and not in the pulling on the spine bit. So So I just want it to be a bit stronger, and therefore I'm going to cut it. So therefore I'm going to reinforce it. So I'm going to cut this. Right, before I do that, hang on just a second, I'm going to have to take a layer of that. So, yes, the other thing is, if you noticed, that went missing for ages. Part of the tidy up, found it. Guess what I'd done 2 days previous? Ordered some more. You live and you learn, or you don't. Right, let me bring it down to here, because I need to find that line down here. So 3/4 of an inch is about there and about there. So I'm using that top line and this bottom line to be the marker for it. And if it's a little bit wonky, it's a little bit wonky. I'm not gonna have screaming abdabs about it. So right, so once I've got that in, I can now just do it without the blade. Sorry, without the ruler, because I've got a channel in which to say, and if I do it very slowly, well, not very slowly, but slowly and not without thinking, then I can stay in the groove. Get into the groove. Yeah, some of that. So I'm just going to keep going. Yes, I could apply a greater force and cut it in one fell swoop, but I like to get it without a wonky line, preferably. So let's just put that in there and see if that's going to fit. So I'll stick that on there. That folds around that side. Yes. Does that fold around that side? Yes. Hoorah! Do you know what? I might even have it so that it sticks out like that. And if I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to need to wrap it in something. Right, hold that thought. So I have a pile of my digitals here that I've used previously. Last time I used them is for wrapping the things, a Happy Mail. But I think I might use some of this in it. In fact, I might use that in it. This one, quite like that, or that one. This is wallpaper, this collection. This is paraphernalia, this one. I like that, but I like it as, I want it more whole. And I think maybe some of that on there. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. So let's move that out of the way. So this is a real, I'm not sure where I'm going, but I'm just doing it type thing. Right, okay, so I want to put this over, so I need to cover it so that the bit that sticks out has some covering over it, but I kind of want to get that pattern. I don't want to get a bit where it's all cream. So how am I going to do that? I could hold it up to the light, couldn't I? Or I could utilize this. Let's try and use this. Right, so this is a light box. I use this for when I weed my vinyl, when I use vinyl. Stop taking that with you, Dave. What am I going to unplug if I unplug that? Well, I don't know, but I've unplugged it now. So yeah, so I use it for when I weed vinyl, when I've cut things on my Cricut. You can get ones that aren't dirty. I just prefer mine dirty. Mine looks well used and loved. That's what it is. Right, okay, there's an on switch somewhere. Okay, so what it's going to do is it'll give me, so I can see the image that I kind of want at the top of there. Do I want to do it like that? Yes, I think. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the end of here. And then stick this onto... Oh, Dave, again, every time. Pull the end off the glue and not the pin out the glue. Every flaming time. So... do these things happen to other people, or is it just me these things happen to? Please tell me. Please tell me it happens to you as well. What's the worst thing that's happened to... I mean, like, this isn't the worst thing, obviously, that's happened to me while we're crafting. But what's the worst thing that's happened to you while you've been crafting? I'd be interested to know. Let's compare notes over how the universe messes with our minds right now. This is not coming out. Let's try again. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on there initially, so I'll just get that surface, and I think that's the surface. That's going to be, this is going to be a face down bit, so I only want a little bit of stuff, but I want the interesting bit hanging over, if you see what I mean. And then what I'm going to do is, perhaps I shouldn't have lifted it up straight away. Sorry if that's too bright glaring at you. Just going to cut that bit out there. So that's the bit that's going to kind of, you're going to see that bit. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to have another bit off here that I want to see from the other side. Maybe do it the other way around, like that. Yep. And then we'll cover the front of the spine in some of this. It might get covered up though, but you know, if I cover it now, then if it doesn't get covered up, I don't have to cover it. If you get what I mean. And if you don't, I'm not surprised. I haven't got a clue. Don't ask me. So I'm going to put that down like that. Just like right. If you're not from the UK, you probably don't get that reference at all. So, and also if you're kind of, I guess, under 30, you probably wouldn't get it either, even if you were from the UK. So that's fine. And then let's turn that off for a second. Let's move it out of the way because I don't want to get glue all over it. So I'm going to fold that way. If I fold that way, I need to cut out the excess. So let's just do a bit of a shapey thing, like that, and another shapey thing, like the shapey thing. Well, you know, if I had some vocabulary, I'd be able to tell you what I was talking about. But if I told you what I was talking about, I'd have to kill you. No, sorry. That's my MI5 job. I don't need to do that. Secret Service. I'm not part of the Secret Service, or am I? I'm not sure that the Secret Service would find any joy in craft, but you know, I don't know. Just, maybe I am a member of the Secret Service. Anyway, shut up, Dave. Dear. He's funny in another universe. So, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead of glue around the edge of here so that I know that it's going to stick down to the edge of it. I say I'm going to put it on the edge, but like if you've got a really wonky hand like I have, then it might just end up everywhere. There are times when I've gone places with with glue kind of stuck all over the place. Questionable at times. So, right, let's stick that on there. Some glue on those bits, and then stick this over. There's a lot of work going into just doing the spine that might even get covered up, but if it does, it does. So I'm thinking that I think that looks all right, actually. I don't think that looks too bad. If you could see that, if that's visible, I don't think that looks too bad. And hopefully this will meet in a similar sort of way. So again, around the outside, you know, like Buffalo girls do, if you know a cherry. Because they go round the outside. What did I do that way? I did that bit first. Oh, you need to put glue on that as well, Dave. So yeah, it's the weekend for me, so it's Sunday the beginning of March. Really rubbish at remembering what date it is. Let me have a look. Say, oh, Sunday the 5th of March. It's Sunday the 5th of March, he says, as though he was well informed right from the very beginning. It's Sunday the 5th of March, and I have been... Oh, yesterday was Saturday, obviously, because in every part of the world, Saturday is followed by Sunday. But yes, I have no idea. But yes, I have no idea what I'm talking about. That's when we were doing a bit of a tidy. That's when I would normally do prep, but because I've been doing I was doing this, I didn't get around to doing the prep. So I was thinking, if that's in like that and it's glued down, and you see that sticking out, does that look okay? Yes, it does. I'm happy with that. Yep, I'm happy with that. So then what we'll do is we'll put something over this bit so that you don't see that bit sticking out. So what have I just done with the... Is it under there? No. What have I just done with that? Oh. Put it over to one side, Dave, and then forget where you've put it. So I was thinking if we... Shall I cover it with that? Or shall I cover it with that? And neither of them like, kind of fit properly. Although I could go that way, couldn't I? No, I don't want to go that way though. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put... Yeah, let's do that. So let's turn this back on again. Sorry if it's bright. I'm going to stick that. Stick it. Where do I want to stick it? About there. I don't know. Let's have it equidistant either end, and then it doesn't look like I've just butchered it. So let's go an inch from the end. Oh, every pencil you pick up, Dave, will have no end on it. So, because we're going to put it face down, we need to be able to see what where the back is. The inch on the back, sorry, there. So, it's there or thereabouts. And then this side an inch, which is about there. Cool. So I want to, which way up is it now? That way. And I want it to be, what am I going to do? That's the back. So I want it face down. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't take much to confuse my brain. As though I'm suggesting I have one. I don't necessarily have one. I kind of, I've got like timeshare brain. Share it with somebody else, but don't know who that is. I feel sorry for them though. And then I'm going to glue all down the front of here. And then smoosh it out a bit, I think. Don't know how much of this is going to need to go down. So there, down to about there. Won't be the first time that I've got... sorry, I thought that was getting warm, but it isn't. Won't be the first time I've got glue over the front of this. But it's fairly easy to clean, so... this is my second one of these. The first one, Brian broke for me. Kindly. Don't know how he did it, but it was the cord. They broke the cord for it, so I had to have a new one. So he bought me a new one for Christmas. That's what your crafty friends do, don't they? So I'm just going to smooch that smooch. I'm not smooching it. No smooshing here, not that kind of channel. Smoosh, that's basically what I was trying to say. So smoosh it all out, and then I'm going to lay that down, kind of, I don't know, there, I think, to there. I'll stick that down, and then I'm just going to cut this bit off, the excess off. Not too much, because you're going to see this side, because that'll be stuck to the other thing. If you're here for words today, clearly I am without them. I have no words. Not in as in I am so flabbergasted I have no words, but I just don't have any words. See, look, we've got glue on there. Told you I would. Told ya. Ja. And then told ja. And then it'd be nice if I could line that up with that, wouldn't it? So let's put that on, and I won't glue it this time. I'm going to put that kind of there. I'm going to say, let's cut it off about there. Get rid of that, and I think we're done with this, so I can unplug this and plug whatever it was that I unplugged back in, because I don't know whether I might need it. I'll definitely unplug something. It might have been she who shall not be named, not he that shall not be named, because that's Voldemort. Oh, I'm not allowed to name him yet. I already have. Yeah, she that shall not be named. It might be her that was unplugged, but no, she hasn't come back on now. I've plugged her in, so she's obviously not unplugged in the first place. Right, and then if we cut this about there, hopefully that's going to be long enough now. If it isn't, I'm just going to have to patch it. So I was look, that's what I wanted to do, to line those two up together. Good, yes, let's do that first. Let's do a line of glue on the seam, and then down, where does it come down to? Put that in place, it comes down to about there. And then fill in the gap. Am I doing the right side? Yes, I am. And then fill in the gap. So yeah, this is not going to be one of those quick fix things that I'm going to be able to turn around in an hour, I'm afraid. It's going to be we'll have to come back to this. This will going to be made over a period of time. But I've wanted to do it for a while, so, and the weather's starting to turn nice, and it's making me feel like, I want to go out and do some eco dyeing. I love eco dyeing. Not dyeing. Eco printing, where you get the image transfer. So it makes me want to do that. Oh, that's not a bad pattern match, is it? Look, if I put that on there, that, you're not going to see that bit, but it kind of pattern matches. So, better than the way I wallpaper. So, to put this down, it's enough to fold around the back. And then does that take me? Oh, it's not far off there, is it? We could get something that'll go in there, surely, even if it's just the end of a stem or something. Is that too? Let's try a bit of. Oh, I don't know whether that's going to be too narrow, Dave. Might be too narrow. I might have to use this actually. Let's use this. So let's cut that to, I don't know about there. Will that match up? Oh, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. Where's the? Okay. Where's the thing? I'll put that on that line, and then find where that. This is a lot of work just for. I know you're thinking, I really wouldn't bother. But, and then you watch what will happen. What will happen, folks? I will cover it up, and you won't ever have seen this. But you know something? We'll know it's there. So that's what matters. So I'm going to put that on there. and then pattern match that, and that should bring that to that line, which it does, there or thereabouts. Stop saying there or thereabouts, Dave. You're not 93. You're about 93 stone, but... So... I've had a real hankering today. A real hankering for some... I don't know what they're called. Charleston chews, which aren't a thing in America. Aren't a thing in the UK. I know they're an American candy. It must be. It's about... I don't know. How long was it? I think I bought some in a... You know, I'm sure in America that you've got these, like, you have continental food stores. They do candy from around the world and that sort of thing. Well, I last bought some in one of those, and I think they cost me about £2 for one. I don't like the chocolate and I don't like the strawberry, but I love the vanilla, and I like putting them in the freezer and then eating them from there. But must be a good few years. We're talking, I don't know, like I say, maybe not 10, maybe 6 or 7 years since I've had some. So I don't go to those kind of places anymore because they're so expensive. But yeah, so I had a real hankering for Charleston chews. In fact, there's a few I like. Are they peppermint patties or is it York? I can't remember. There's another one that when I went to San Francisco I liked, but and then there's another couple of chocolate bars I've always seen. You see, the thing is, you see them on TV. So obviously, British TV is heavily influenced by American programming because it's one of the biggest manufacturers of TV is America. So obviously in the UK we get a lot of American TV shows. So when I was younger, I never needed anyone. No, sorry. I've lost my train of thought. Not that I ever had it. I couldn't catch my train of thought even if I was running. I don't know what I'm talking about now. We're just doing it. We're just going with it. So yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, I've seen lots of references, you know, to things like is it 100 grand and Butterfingers and that sort of chocolate doesn't exist here. So I don't know what these things taste like. I know one thing: I don't like Hershey chocolate. So on its own, so because it's to the British palate, it tastes like I don't know. It's got an enzyme in it that makes it taste a bit like sick, which because our chocolate doesn't. I think it's because your chocolate has. Well, American chocolate has. You use heat treated milk because obviously it has to travel. It has to traverse your country to be able to get to where the cows are and where the chocolate is made, and not in the same place. Whereas in the UK, our island is so small, you don't need to heat treat milk. It's pasteurized, but it's not. Is it homogenized? I think you homogenize milk, and that's why you call it homo milk. But in the UK, that's not what. In fact, people would raise some eyebrows if you called it that. In the UK, we use pasteurized milk. So anyway, what am I talking about? Anyway, I haven't tried a whole load of chocolate. I just know I've tried Hershey's chocolate and I've tried Hershey's Kisses, and they're okay, but like they're not They're not for me. Have I just stuck that too far down? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I might have the glue sticking out too far, but so yeah. So I know one thing though. Christina Hall has previously sent me one of my favourites, which is Christina lives in Australia, and she's sent me I can't think what they're called now. Oh, what are they called? They're like penguins, but they're not penguins. So in the UK we have a chocolate bar, well, a biscuit bar called Penguin, and they're like penguins, but they're not penguins. They're nicer than penguins. Oh, what are they called? I'm gonna have to Google that, aren't I? Oh, hang on. I've stuck that in the wrong place, haven't I? Where am I sticking it? Yeah, I've stuck it completely in the wrong place, Dave. Stop thinking about chocolate and start thinking about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, Dave. So that needs to go up to there and butt up to that line, which it does, and then this one needs to butt up. Yep, that does now. So let's just make sure, yep, before I stick it down. Right, get rid of that line. What is it called? Why can't I think of it? Gonna have to find out. Oh, you can get them in the UK as well, and I can't think. Hold that thought, I'll be back to you. Tim Tams. That's who. They're Tim Tams. And I think the last time she sent us some were the raspberry dark chocolate Tim Tams. Oh, they are divine. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm kind of fixating about food at the minute. So have you noticed, or has it passed you by? So let's just see if that goes up to the end. No, it doesn't. So let's just put a bit of glue in there so that it does. And go up to the end on that side. No, so let's put that on as well. Cool. So that's reinforced the spine. Now, some of you might say, well, you could have reinforced that on the outside. I could, but I didn't. So I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it my way. So that's how we're starting. So let's now maybe add some wings. So this, I was thinking maybe having a wing in. I don't know whether. Might have a wing this side and a different thing on this side. So I think I'm going to use some of this. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Let's cut this down again as well, so this is nice and straight. So, yeah, Tim Tams, that's what I'm thinking of. But like I say, I haven't been to Australia, and I've not been to America. Right? Well, no, I have been to America. I went to America in 2004. In fact, that was actually my last holiday abroad. Because, well, I haven't had the money since. That was because when my mum downsized the property from where we used to be our family home, she gave us all a bit of money to treat ourselves, and we did. So I used it for a holiday with my then husband. Well, not then, but like he became my husband, and then he became my ex-husband not long after being my husband, but that's another story. And so that was a waste of money. Although, you know, I went to a place in the world I would never have gone otherwise, and I loved it. So I went to San Francisco and I loved it. So obviously had to go to San Francisco. People say, "Oh, why did you go to San Francisco? Why San Francisco and not New York or Las Vegas?" Las Vegas has never appealed to me for a big thing. I'm not a gambler. I'm not interested in gambling. So that's never really appealed to me. Yes, I'd love to go to New York, but that's maybe one day. And that's somewhere you definitely want to go with someone special, not someone who turned out to be not very special. And I went to San Francisco because obviously that's a compulsory thing. I am gay, and it's like the gay capital of the world, isn't it, San Francisco? So, and it's such a beautiful place. It's such a laid back culture. I think is that bigger than that? It is. It's a big. Why is this bigger than that? What the heck? They're supposed to be a standard size. Well, that's not going to help, is it? Let's cut that down. Let's put that in there and kind of get it the right size. So yeah, I'd like to go to New York one day. In fact, there's lots of places I'd like to go. I'd quite like to go to Boston as well. Don't know what it is about Boston. Just fancied it. I'd really love to go to Australia one day. I'd love to go to New Zealand. I really want to go to look, I'm not measuring this, so I'm just going to go for it. I'd really like to go to India. So yeah, lots of places, but at the moment I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me, so I'm having to visit me for the time being. So right, let's put that on and see if we're kind of, even if it's shorter, I don't mind. Is it shorter? Oh, I've got a twitch in my eye now, which is not going to help. So it's going to be really hard for you guys to envisage what I want to do. Do you know what? That's still too long. Let's go for significantly shorter, and that way then it looks a deliberate action. Whereas if you don't go for a deliberate shortness, it looks like you tried to make it the right length and failed miserably. So I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to have a much shorter bit. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll kind of stick it down in the middle of that page. So this is shorter. I don't know, something's just fell off. Maybe it was my leg. I don't know. Yeah, let's stick that on there, and that's in the middle of there. Do I want to have some kind of a gusset on it? I know people struggle with me saying gusset. But at least it doesn't say the moist word. Oh no, I've just done that. Let's put that on there. Right, that goes up to there. So maybe score it at 6 and 7/8. So that's 7 1/8. We go 6 7/8. We'll score there. I should have scored it the other way around. There we go. That's better, and then we can make that a mounting. Cool. But yeah. So, but you know, I like the UK. I like Britain. I think we are a nice nation. We're very multicultural. We are loving. We're caring. We just have a stiff upper lip. Well, it's getting less like that. So I think I'm going to have that in there, and then we've got that shape as well, and that means that's going to be with that box and that going over yeah, we're going to have plenty of space, that's fine. But it also has a bit of writing down there, which I quite like, that I've encompassed. Not necessarily going to cover that up. So, what will I do? What'll I do when you... Right, I'm going to stick this down, that's what I'm going to do. Far away, and I am blue. What'll I do? Well, if you're blue, you're a Smurf. Blimey, I've digressed a lot today, haven't I? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Who am I? Where am I? Take it. I take it now. I tell you, you'd only have to spin me round once on this swivel chair and I'd have no idea where I was. So, or who I was. Maybe that's the tell that I don't work for MI5. MI5, by the way, is Britain's Secret Service, in case you're wondering who MI5 are. Not MFI, they used to be a furniture company in the UK. It's a completely different company. Again, that's a joke that my international audience have no idea about. I've stopped saying. Right, I'm gonna stick. Oh no! Yes, yes. La la. Right. Cool. Okay, so we've got that in. So we've got this openy-uppy thing here, and I think what I want here is I'd like some kind of flappiness going on here. So again, I think I'm going to need some more file folder. Now, part of the big tidy up yesterday was I sat and did some file folders. Cut all of the hanging suspension bar things off the top of the file folders. I've also found lots of bits of file folder which might feed into what I'm doing. Yes, there's definitely some significant pieces in here. I'd like a variety of an interest. Oh, this is going to get in my way, isn't it? It'll drive me mad. So I think what I'm going to do for today's video is I'm going to get an idea of what we're doing on this side in, and then we'll call it a day, I think. So I was thinking maybe having something that flaps up. Do I want one flap up with some other things inside? Or do I want... If I had, like, let me just have a think about this. So, if I have a flap up, I could have some things that flap down. Oh, I don't know. If I had a layer of some flap ups, maybe. Do I want a lid for it though? Do you know what? I think I might put something that sits over the top of it. So again, something that's gusseted like this that sits over the top. But I think I'm going to, right, so I'm going to keep that to one side because I think that might be my cover. And we'll use this that's got some holes in it for the other bits. So we have, can I cut the holes off and still use the width of it? Why have I got a hole there and one there? It's like I've got some kind of random moth going on here. Mothra. Let's get this out. So if I let's cut it in half first. Put it down here. Or it's probably not half, to be fair. And then cut that whole bit off. You can make me whole again. Looking back on when we first met. Don't sing about Dave. Yeah, well, that's a bit wide still, but like. So if I have, so that's going to be the lid, and then if I have some things that do this and they kind of reveal, or shall I have them waterfall style? I'll cut that down a bit more. I'm trying to cut the end off there so that it actually fits in the space that I want it to fit in. Hang on, Dave. Which bit are you cutting off? No, let's cut that side off. We don't want it to be. We don't want it to hang over. So to do that, that should be a sufficient amount to cut down. Does that fit in that space? It does. Right. Okay. So I've got one cover that will flip up, and then inside I will have a couple of indexy things that flip up, or they flip down. Right. I'm gonna have to think about this. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do a flippy uppy, and there'll be another flippy uppy that won't go any lower than the bottom of the. In fact, actually, that's probably about the size that I want. That if I have that as the hinge, and that comes down, and then have another one of those kind of there. Yeah. I think that's possibly what I'm going to do. Right, okay, so what I think is I'm going to stop it here, and we'll do the rest in another video. Is that good enough? Well, it's going to have to be good enough because that's what's happening. So anyway, I've stood up, so it's happening now. All right then, folks, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, my name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception. So don't give me a reason not to. And if you love me without exception, you'll give this a like, because that's the least you could do. Thanks very much, folks. I will see you all very soon in the next video. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.